This portion of XCorp Sweet Rides is brought to you by SoCal Paintwork, San Diego's #1 restoration shop. Pro Touring F-Body. Make your F-Body handle the way it should.
Hey XCorp viewers, what's up? Scott Summers here. XCorp Sweet Rides. We're at SoCal Paintworks checking on the Bandit X project. We're working on one of the front fenders, so let's go check that out. XCorp Sweet Rides. We're doing the Bandit X project not only to be entertaining, but to be informative for you do-it-yourselfers. And I got Mark here with me showing us how to work a fender. So Mark, tell us a little bit about what you're doing on here.
Well, right now I'm checking over the fender for true lines and making sure everything's not wavy. And we just got done pretty much doing the whole fender. I got a couple little spots to take care of.
So Mark, there's a lot of different filler products out there and a lot of guys that do-it-yourselfers what's the best product you've come across so far as the fillers?
I like Rage by Evercoat. It's one of the best fillers I've used in a long time. It's very easy sanding and very forgiving, and it doesn't pinhole a lot, which a lot of fillers like to pinhole, and this stuff happens to be really nice to sand and real good stuff to use.
So we've pretty much got the top of the fender worked out to where it's pretty straight and smooth. And now we're going to start on the lower portion of the fender. And we've come across the high spot right here. So Mark's going to knock that high spot down, do a little hammer and dolly work on it, and then put a little skim coat of Bondo on it to get this thing nice and straight for the black paint. So check this out. So now we got the area worked down to where we can go ahead and lay our Bondo in. And you always want to have a good biting area in there. So you want to use a rough sandpaper to make some scratches in there, relatively deep enough but not too deep that the Bondo can bite into. So Mark's got a nice smooth coat of body filler applied here, and you want to put a smooth coat on there to keep your sanding time down to a minimum. And he's also, as you noticed, he's went way past the area that he worked. So we've got the body filler on the car. It's been about 6 minutes. It's starting to harden up a little bit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cheese grate it. And that's basically what it is. You're basically using like a cheese grater to go over top of the hardener to knock down all the high spots. And then once you do that, you'll take some 80 grit paper to it and start sanding it down from there. Okay, so we got the thing cheese grated out to where it's pretty flat, and now we're going to take a block sander on it with some 80 grit to help knock it the rest of the way down. There's a lot of do-it-yourselfers out there that are going to be watching. Is there any information you can pass on to them that will help them in their projects?
Well, first of all, you got to get a nice fender that's halfway decent, you know, make sure it's not too dented. If there is any big dents in it, take care of your dents. If there's any holes or cracks, make sure you weld them up before you do any filler work. If you put filler over any holes or cracks, it's just going to crack on you. You don't want to have any holes or cracks in there. And then once you get all that stuff done, then you're pretty much ready to do all your mud work.
I'm Scott Summers, and this is Mark. We're at SoCal Paintworks in Santee, California. We got more Bandit X on the way, so stay tuned. Got a project you're working on and you've got some questions you need answered? Go to SoCalPaintworks.com. You can email them or give them a call. They'll help you in any way that they can with all your restoration questions. So one problem with doing an extensive restoration like this on a car, especially going to black, you want to make sure the car is completely straight. And we get a lot of dents that we need to take care of, and we don't want to fill those in with Bondo. So what we want to do is take a weld-on dent puller like we've got here. Now what this does is the gun actually attaches itself to the metal, and it's got a built-in slide hammer. So you basically, you weld the hammer onto the dent and then take the slide hammer and knock it out. So now for you old school guys, you remember the way you used to do this, where you used to have to drill holes into your panel. Well, that created a problem because then you'd have to use a lot of Bondo to make those holes, get those holes filled in. With this thing, you tack weld it on there, you slide hammer it out, then you rework it with your metal hammers, and it's great. But a lot of you guys out there, you do-it-yourselfers that can't afford something like this, they do make a consumer-grade spot welder. Basically what it does is it welds little nails onto your panels, and then you use a conventional slide hammer to pull them out. It gives you pretty much the same effect. So the old days of drilling holes are long gone. Stick around, we got more XCorp Sweet Rides Bandit X project coming up.